We begin today by talking about Jadeveon Clowney, a one-year deal worth up to $10 million. Browns fans definitely excited. Take a listen to Ron from the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hi, Dave. This is Ron Byer. Dave, a double high five to Andrew Berry and the Cleveland Browns with the signing of Clowney today. It was like putting double icing on the free agents pickups we've taken this year. This is what it takes to build a Super Bowl contender on the field in just a few short years. Now we can go after the best athlete available in the draft. Then let the coaches mold the players into Super Bowl champions.
Ron Byer on the voicemail of Truth and Reason. Jadeveon Clowney already met with the Cleveland media and explained why he chose to sign with the Browns this year after they kind of tried to get him to sign as a free agent last year.
It's great, man. It's a great feeling to know you can come with a team that's already on the up, and I can just come fit in and try to help them get over that hump and get to the Super Bowl.
A lot has been made about you pairing up, obviously, with Myles Garrett and that your arrival will help him. How much will playing with him help you?
A lot. I've been getting double teamed off a lot in this league over my career, and I'm looking forward to playing with somebody dominant on the opposite side, like a Myles Garrett who can draw a double team. Maybe I can go one-on-one more.
And yeah, going one-on-one will make him smile. Anytime we talk Browns, we love to have Jake Burns from the Orange and Brown Report to break it down. Jake, put this into perspective. How important is Jadeveon Clowney to what the Browns want to do here?
Well, I think it's interesting. I don't know that they could have gone through the season and maybe been fine, but with pairing him with Myles and allowing Jadeveon to not be the focus, and I think some people in the Houston spectrum viewed that as a knock there on J.J. Watt because he played with J.J. Watt, but the latter portion of Jadeveon's time in Houston was spent when J.J. went through a couple injury seasons. The last season he did play with him was in 2018, and when he played alongside J.J. Watt, he had a dominant season when you look at the pressure rates, and even he had 8 or 9 sacks, which is pretty solid too as a secondary rusher. He goes to Seattle. He's the focal point, does pretty well in my opinion, only gets 4 sacks, I believe, maybe 3. I'm not sure what the exact metric number was, but he pressured the quarterback like crazy. And then last year, obviously the focal point in Tennessee. With Jadeveon, you're getting a guy who is extremely stout against the run game, who's always performed well in that metric, which is an important role for the strong side defensive end opposite Myles Garrett. And then you're also getting a guy who's creative and can be used in many different ways. So, what my thing was with signing Jadeveon is specifically the idea of what the versatility now becomes, because after breaking down all of his 2020 snaps, and he only played about half the year because of that microfracture surgery that he needed, you're getting a guy who can do a bunch of different things from a bunch of different alignments. I mean, he can play true defensive end in a 4-3 structure. He can get after the quarterback. He's not great in what I call the bend aspect, being able to rush the quarterback upfield and turn the corner and stay low. The thing that Myles Garrett does that makes him all world is at his size, he's able to dip down and play really low with that crazy ankle flexibility. So Clowney doesn't necessarily do that well. He's okay, but he's not great at it. What he's great at is using a different array of pass moves, swim moves, the ability to get skinny and shoot through a gap. Those things are what he does best. He finds most of his edge rushing snaps to be wins that are inside, in the inside, whatever the inside is of whatever side he rushes on. It's typically inside, and that's why I think he's really good. And the flexibility that he gives the Browns as an interior pass rusher, when you can put Takk McKinley outside, who I know they really like, put him outside and then have Clowney rush from either a 4-eye on the inside eye of the tackle or a 3 technique, or teams, specifically Houston did this, and I noticed a little bit of it with Tennessee. They would let him stand up and float around and rush from the interior from an upright position over the top of the center, letting him go whatever A gap he wanted to choose and give the center all sorts of headaches. So the thing that I love is whether they're in nickel dime or even their base 4-3, which I don't think they'll be in. I wouldn't even call their base the 4-3, more of that 4-2-5 with the extra safety on the field. He can rush from so many different places that it just makes your defense that much better. When you look at his versatility, Myles Garrett's versatility, and even they talked about Malik Jackson, and I know Sheldon Richardson can do this too, play that big end position. You're talking about the ability to give offensive line confusion snap to snap, quarter to quarter, week to week, based on weaknesses, based on their personnel and how they want to bring pressure for the week. So you go from Joe Woods being really frustrated about his personnel and the ability to adapt and be creative last year to now with the secondary additions, what they're going to probably continue to bring in through the draft and some other fringe free agency market, out there at corner, to those guys tightening up the secondary, and now the versatility of all of these guys up front, and you add Clowney to it, the ability to just pressure from any angle, because so often what happens is these quarterbacks are able to get rid of the football so quickly because the coverage isn't tight enough because they're so nervous about the pass rush. Now you have secondary that can play tight, and you have all these tools in your pass rush. That's the best of both worlds, guys. And that's when you see quarterbacks can't get rid of the football quick enough. And that's when guys like Clowney, Myles Garrett, and those guys up front are able to feast and get home. And that is the outcome that you ultimately want.